Hey, Karli Spahr here with One Trust Home Loans and the Spahr team. Before I get into the market update, I wanted to share with you a quote that really resonates with me. I've always been a fan of the Serenity Prayer, but I know that isn't for everybody, so I felt like I needed another good one that really fits this market. When you can't control what is happening, take control of the way you respond to what is happening, for that is where your power is. Control is a big deal for me. So when we're in a market like this, it's difficult for me, and I'm sure like many like me, to not go off the rails. But with age, I've found that I've also gained a little patience. My husband probably won't agree with me, but also a lot more resilience. I can control things in life even if I cannot control the market. And that means I'm still working just as many hours as before, just in a different way. I'm working on things that I can control right now. I wanted to also touch on, if you're thinking of buying a home right now, I simply have to say, just do it. The competition is down so much and the opportunity is very abundant out there. Yeah, there might not be as much inventory, but think about it. I heard from so many people before that I'm going to wait to buy until the market settles down a bit. Well, guys, it's settled down. There's not as much competition out there, so you can go out, you can buy that house, you cannot pay over list price, you can get seller concessions, some repairs done potentially. You are going to have a lot more pick in a market like this. You're not going to get scrutinized quite as heavily with different types of financing. So it is really turning into more of a buyer's market. So if you've been on the fence about buying, what are you guys waiting for? Get out there and do it. If payment is an issue, call me. I can help. We can discuss strategies and how we can make it work for you. Okay, so now let's get into market trends. I just want to talk a little bit about some numbers. So the most recent jobless claims report came in slightly higher at 230,000. So remember, we are wanting that to trend upwards. So it's a little bit higher. The ADP report showed job growth slowed, which helped us see a nice drop in rates last week, a pretty nice drop. Then the BLS non-farm payroll report came in way higher, which makes no sense to me at all. But you also have to remember that that report is based off surveys, and the data can sometimes be very variable. Today, the PPI, which is the Producer Price Index, remember this reflects wholesale and is from the perspective of the seller. This came in higher than expected at 0.3% versus 0.2%. Even though it wasn't a huge increase, it still sent the market reeling a little bit with this data today. Not in a positive way for rates, but all in all, we're still in a much better trend than we were before. So next week, we're going to see some really important reports coming in. We've got CPI on Tuesday, which is more important than PPI. That is expected to decline a little bit. And then Wednesday is the Fed meeting with them speaking at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if they see things that are trending in the right direction, and hopefully they react accordingly, it could be very good for the bond market. So also I wanted to point out what we're seeing right now is a decrease in liquidity. So consumers had all this money saved up from the pandemic. They weren't going on vacations, they weren't shopping the same way, just things were different. They were getting some credits, they had money in the bank, and now they're eating at that excess savings, used it up, using credit cards to rely on. So we're starting to see a lot of signs pointing to a recession. I expect it to be short-lived, maybe the better part of next year, but it's definitely not going to be at the same level as we saw in the Great Recession. But again, even if you're considering buying, don't wait. Start looking now. See if you can find a good deal now. Remember, rates are lower in the future. We offer free refinances through the end of 2024 if you purchase with us. So there are things that we can look at, but most importantly, let's look at some different types of products that we can work out for you. And let's get those seller credits, the repairs, below list price. call and let me know, send me a message. I'm happy to help, and I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend.